how does one measure progress? When looking at how technology has changed society, it's always been for the better, right? Technology frees us. It gives us back time we might not have had. It makes life easier. Everyone benefits from technology, don't they? Would anyone disagree? The Industrial Revolution was a major turning point in history. Social, economic, and cultural conditions were profoundly impacted by changes in many industries. One invention in particular played a major role in these changes, but it also came with a number of unintended consequences. After the American Revolution, many hoped the ideals of freedom and equality would extend to the slave population. It was generally thought that slavery was an outdated and dying institution, and many Southern leaders opposed it. Planters feared slave revolts, and farmers realized it was more expensive to maintain slaves compared to the value of what they could produce. At that time, cotton was a difficult crop for planters because removing the seeds was a grueling and exhausting process involving many slaves. Long staple cotton was the easiest to pick and remove seeds. Still, it took slaves 10 hours to remove the seeds from 1 pound of cotton lint.
Great God Almighty, gonna pick a bale of cotton. Great God Almighty, gonna pick a bale of day. Great God Almighty, gonna pick a bale of cotton. Great God Almighty, gonna pick a bale of day. Oh Lord, pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lord, pick a bale of day. Oh Lord, pick a bale of cotton. Oh Lord, pick a bale of day.
In 1793, while tutoring on a Georgia plantation, a man named Eli Whitney created an invention which he believed would make cleaning cotton easier and would lessen the need for slaves. That invention, the cotton engine, or cotton gin for short, was a mechanical device that separated cotton fibers from cotton seeds and dramatically lowered the cost of producing cotton fiber. According to Whitney,
this gin, if turned with horses or by water, 2 persons will clean as much cotton in 1 day as 100 persons could clean in the same time.
However, what actually happened as a result of this invention could not have been predicted. In England, the Industrial Revolution sparked a number of inventions in the textile industry, which enabled textiles to be mass-produced and made Britain's need for cotton so insatiable that cotton became vital to the American economy. The gin's effect on the economy and on the lives of the slaves who made up a significant part of that economy was complex. While it was true that the cotton gin freed slaves from the arduous labor of separating seeds from the lint by hand, this increased demand for cotton also increased the demand for slaves needed to grow it and harvest the fields.
Oh, when them cotton bolls get rotten, you couldn't pick very much cotton in them old cotton fields at home. It was down in Louisiana, just a mile from Texarkana, and the more cotton field at home.
At the turn of the century, American cotton production was at 75,000 bales. However, by mid-century, America was growing 75% of the world's supply of cotton, about 4 million bales. This boom in production directly related to an increased demand for slaves. The number of slaves in America increased from 750,000 in 1790 to well over 4 million by 1860. By then, approximately 1 in 3 Southerners was a slave. Cotton plantations were a miserable life for slaves. On the large cotton plantations, both the work and the punishments were incessant and unforgiving. Beatings were often used to coerce uncooperative slaves, along with selling off their families, mutilation, and even death. Former slave Henry Bibb wrote in his autobiography,
I have known the slaves to be so fatigued from labor that they could scarcely get to their lodging places from the field at night, and then they would have to prepare something to eat before they could lie down to rest. By the time they would get their suppers, it would be midnight, and they would herd down all together and take but 2 or 3 hours rest before the overseer's horn called them up again to prepare for the field.
Hey, he, hi, ho, picking cotton all day. Hey, he, hi, ho, just a picking away. Oh, white folks knows I'm working, they know 'twon't be no shirking. Hey, he, hi, ho, cotton all day. Hey, he, hi, ho, just a picking away.
Former slave Mary Reynolds remembered.
It was work hard, get beatings, and half fed. The times I hated most was picking cotton when the frost was on the boughs. My hands get sore and crack open and bleed.
And as cotton cultivation spread, slaveholders in the tobacco belt, whose crop was no longer lucrative, made huge profits by selling their slaves. This domestic slave trade devastated black families, who were ripped apart and sent hundreds of miles away. There is no simple method to determine how the cotton gin affected the lives of individual slaves, and while it is possible that the invention of the gin made the working hours of a few individual slaves somewhat less difficult, given the cruelty of slavery overall, it is clear that any invention which encouraged slavery to grow and expand increased the misery of slaves exponentially. Furthermore, due to its inadvertent effect on slavery, the invention of the cotton gin is frequently cited as one of the ultimate causes of the American Civil War. So while most people may agree that technology equals progress, for people of African descent, the cotton gin was not progress. It was a further entrenchment into slavery.
Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God.